I'm Dale Smith for Looney Politics, and there's been a lot of talk online this weekend about the policy resolutions that did and did not pass at the Liberals' biennial convention. The thing to remember, however, is that these policies don't actually mean much anymore. Now, we did see some policies on things like high-speed rail and basic income, and creating walkable cities and a truth in politics law somehow. And most troubling was one about disinformation, which would somehow prevent journalists from using anonymous sources. And there were some absolute meltdowns over Twitter about this. But the problem is that these policy resolutions are pretty much a sideshow. Now, once upon a time, parties would use these to build their platforms, but that age no longer really exists, partially because of the way we've bastardized our leadership contests and turned them into quasi-American presidential primaries, and now leadership candidates are coming in with full policy slates, which never used to be the case and should not be the case. But also because in the Liberals' case in particular, when they rewrote their party's constitution a couple of years ago, they centralized all of the real policy and platform positions within the leader's office under the guise of it being more nimble and more responsive, and that they were going to justify all of these new policy positions using big data. So what this effectively means is that the grassroots policy process in most parties, but the Liberals most especially, has been completely neutered. So all of these policy resolutions that we saw this weekend, and some of them were pretty out there and others were basically impossible, they don't actually end up meaning much. There's some kind of flags around what the party sees its direction as in a general kind of sense, or how they perceive their values. But none of this stuff is going to make its way into the party platform when it comes to the next election. And none of it is really going to mean anything because none of this is binding. And so everyone who's been having a meltdown over the weekend over what's been in these resolutions needs to take a deep breath. For Looney Politics, I'm Dale Smith.